Welcome back to another very patented Roll1D2Games original, unique idea that is a tier list, what we like to talk about. So, this one is Bethesda titles. Whatever idiot, degenerate, Luddite, idiot, caveman, backwards fool made this list, made it way too big. So no one's ever going to do this list because it's not recordable for YouTube, except I've had to stretch my screen out and do some weird shit to make it work, and now it finally works. Even then, some of the shit's cut off, but we don't need to worry about that too much. So, we're going to rank from best to worst, worst to best, S to... They published this? Question mark, multiple. Obviously, all of these categories are garbage. We're not going to put anything in those except for never played this game. That was actually pretty good. Because, you know, I don't want to rate shit I've never played before. I think it's very obvious that any of you who have ever spoken to me before about any Bethesda games know exactly what I like and exactly what I don't like. So that should be very straightforward. Let's start, shall we? Number one on this list. We'll just go through an order, by the way. Number one. We've got what says the Elder Scroll Gen. I don't know what this is. I think it's the card game. So, I've actually never played this card game. I also have no interest in an Elder Scrolls card game. So, that's going in the never played this section. Brink, I played for about half an hour. So, it's going in the never played this game because obviously I've never fucking played it, huh? That looks like Quake Online, which I have played. And I really like Quake. But, oh, is that Quake Online or is that the remake of... Oh, I don't know. Because there's also another Quake here. I actually have no idea. I think that's Quake 4, and that's Quake Online. It was actually pretty fun. It's a pretty good recreation if you've never played Quake. It felt like a Quake game. But, I mean, it's Quake. It's Quake. It's a shooting game online. It's a bit late for that, Bethesda. It's 2019, not 1919, or whenever it was the original Quake came out. Daggerfall. Okay, so Daggerfall was cool. It was definitely one of the better Elder Scrolls games, including all the expanded ones, which are on this list, by the way. Daggerfall was kind of cool because it had basically random generation to some extent. Like, the whole world was procedurally generated, but certain locations was obviously set in stone because they were for the story. So it was essentially an infinite game, but it was very much traditional Bethesda. It had a massive, massive, massive world, but no depth. But then again, games back in those days weren't about story or adventure or building up this world or you know, pleasing many characters and faction and all that shit. It was basically just about, you know, the mechanics and the actual more gameplay. So, I don't know. I have played Daggerfall, though. That gets, for its place in the Elder Scrolls hierarchy, for what it did for the series, for the franchise, for Bethesda, I think it's a B+. Plus, it still stands up. If you want to go back and play Daggerfall, you probably could still enjoy it. Dishonored. Is that just like Dishonored 1? I think that's with the DLC. Now, I never played the DLC, but I like Dishonored. That's a B game. I thought it was fun for one playthrough, but I thought the ending was utter... Oh, you know what? There's Dishonored. Okay, I've never played this. Like I was saying, the ending was utter shite, right? Oh, you killed one man and suddenly the world hates you. Or you didn't kill one man and suddenly everyone's your best friend. The gameplay mechanics were fun. I do like stealth games, which is probably giving me a bit of a bias towards that. But I've never played it since, let's put it that way. I played it through once, thought it was good, but I've never picked it back up, which I think speaks volumes. Dishonored 2, never played the damn thing. Doom 3, I vaguely remember Doom 3. That was when they tried to be a bit more edgy, scary Doom, rather than traditional Doom, where you were, you know, obviously guy killing demons. Doom 3 felt like a lot more of a horror game than anything else. It was pretty garbage. It was pretty bad from what I recall. That's going to go in a C tier. I don't remember much to it. I think I had it on like 360 or something. So we've got original Doom. I don't know. I did play original Doom. It's a bit dated now though, isn't it? I vaguely remember it too. I don't have a huge memory about it. I remember, was it the first level or Hangar? Was it Hangar? And there was that big speedrunning. That was the best part of it. There was that massive speedrunning competition to try and do the first level in like 7 seconds. And people did like thousands and thousands of attempts. It was these 2 speedrunners down to the line. That brought Doom back, I think. But Doom, for where it stands in, not just in terms of like gameplay, in terms of mechanics or whatever, I think in terms of where it stands in history for gaming, you've got to give it like a B. You've got to put it up there with Daggerfall. Personally, I mean, why the fuck would I play it in 2018? Let's be reasonable here, which is why it gets a B+. Otherwise, realistically, it would be sensible to put it in S for what it did for history, right? Anyway, we've got Doom Remake. I liked it. I didn't play too much of it, but I did like it. I thought it was quite mechanically sound, and obviously it was quite I enjoy fast-paced shooters. I fucking hate Call of Duty when you're sat in a corner, or having a sniper, that classic Call of Duty sniper duel. Garbage. Whoever thought that to go, I hate... That shit's boring and pointless. I don't want to sit still firing off bullets at a windowsill for 5 hours, alright? Doom fixed that. I think that's a B. Is it better than Dishonored? I think they're in the same tier. I think that's reasonable. Doom 2. I don't remember Doom 2, but there was a quite popular mod for it, wasn't there? It was like that Brutal Doom, I think it was. Or that actually might have been a mod of Doom 1. I don't think I've ever actually played Doom 2. I think that one missed me, so I don't really remember. Ducati Moto. I didn't even know they published that. All the rest I've heard of. This is the games I've literally not heard of, which isn't going to be many. That might be the only one. I didn't know they published that. Arena. Now, Arena was, of course, the original Elder Scrolls game. That was, I think, a little bit too dated. I think I probably wouldn't go back to that one in a hurry. Honestly, don't remember it much either. I definitely played it at some stage, probably like during the early 2000s, but I really do not remember it at all. I can't, in all good knowledge with that in mind, give it a higher rank than a B, because I don't remember it, but... man, I feel like I almost can't say that I've played it, because I don't remember anything about it. Again, based on where it is in gaming, you've got to give it a decent rank, because I'm not going to rank it. This is what I'm calling this section unranked, rather than never played this. Because although I've technically played Brink, and though I've technically played Arena, I just don't fucking remember them. Battlespire. We played that on stream. Garbage. Actual garbage. That's going in meme stats. That was fucking shit. I'm sure there was some... Wait, was it Battlespire we played? It was, wasn't it? With the imps. Just god-awful. I mean, granted, I did play it in 2018 rather than when it came out back in 1812. But... It still was, it just felt like shit, and it's really not noble. I mean, how many people have heard of, name Elder Scrolls games? If you said to everybody in the world, name the Elder Scrolls game, how many people would name Battlespire? I mean, I would, because I played it and it was shit. That's the only memory I've got of that. Elder Scrolls Online, it's just an MMO. It's just another garbage, reskinned MMO, as far as I'm concerned. They've tried to make it look like Skyrim, doesn't play like Skyrim, doesn't feel like Skyrim, feels like a shit version of WoW, I'm going to be frank. That's low tier, and as I did with the last tier list, the further they are to the right-hand side, the worse they are. So, Quake Online is better than Doom 3, is better than Elder Scrolls Online, for example. Dishonored better than Doom, Daggerfall better than Doom, obviously. Anyway, Fallout 3. Okay, this is where it gets juicy, because I'm a big fan of the main Fallout and Oblivion series. I've got hundreds and hundreds of hours in each. Fallout 3, controversial, it's A+. It's A+. I know a lot of people... Now, let's not spoil it. Let's not compare them. I want it to have ranked New Vegas before I decide on that. Fallout 4, I played it again recently, and it's still a solid I will give it a... It's hard to give it anything more than a B. I think it's a low B. Because it's... Would I rather play Doom or Fallout 4? I think I'd rather play Fallout 4 just because I prefer the style of game, but I think Doom is a better game. I think that's inarguable. Fallout 4, though, as fun as it was, I never played the DLC, so maybe when I finish the DLC in my current playthrough, but it's very slow, because obviously I'm a busy person, so busy that I have time to do tier lists, rather than playing the actual games. But I'm a busy person. I haven't actually played Fallout 4 properly with all the DLC and with everything else included. Maybe it's better, maybe it would go up to a B+. I can't see it being any higher than that. The UI system was garbage, the skill system was garbage, the perks were garbage, there was no Wild Wasteland perk. Fallout 76, I've never played it. But I feel like it's... I know that it's garbage. I've watched people play it. It is not my type of game at all. For the same reason I didn't like the Elder Scrolls Online is for the same reason I won't like Fallout 76. Compounded by the fact that it's an empty, dead world, which I've been heavily critical about Skyrim for being that. So, of course, I'm going to be critical for a game that's designed to be an empty, dead world. New Vegas, S tier. No question about it. Incredible character writing. Now, this is what I was going to mention before. Fallout 3, I always used to be a massive defender over Fallout New Vegas. Fallout 3 was the first Fallout game I played. I have played Fallout 2, not Fallout 1, but I don't really remember much Fallout 2. I played that without not realizing what it was, and then I picked up Fallout 3 and didn't realize that was a sequel to Fallout 2, as weird as that sounds, because I was young when I played Fallout 2. It came out 470 years ago. Fallout 3, however, I consider my first proper Fallout game. Where I cared about the story and the characters and stuff, and I thought the intro into Fallout with that was incredible. Obviously, that moment where you leave the vault and you stood on top of the hill overlooking the trash landscape, and then Megaton is in the distance. Tenpenny Tower was awesome. Like, a lot of that game was very, very cool and well done. Story was also pretty good in that. New Vegas, I think it beats it. The writing in New Vegas was infinitely better, as with Bethesda. Whenever they give out their property to anyone else, they always make something better. So New Vegas still beats it more than that. New Vegas obviously had better guns, better mechanics, like the Gunrunner's Arsenal stuff and the ammo benches and shit. Improved on the mechanics, improved what was already there without losing anything of what was already there, if that makes sense. And again, the writing was so much better in New Vegas and the factions and everything. It also followed the sort of original Fallout storyline a little bit better. So whereas Fallout 3 was more or less I want to say a soft reboot, New Vegas played a lot into that older Fallout 2 and Van Buren stuff. Van Buren being the name of the cancelled Fallout 3 game that was coming out. So, by Black Isle, who eventually became Obsidian, I believe, or at least some of the employees of... I forget what the story is behind it, but they have a lot of close ties. And that was their, you know, pretty much a direct sequel to Fallout 2, whereas Fallout 3 was more of a spiritual sequel or a soft reboot, like I said. So I think New Vegas is just better because of all of that. Fallout Shelter. It was fun for a bit, wasn't it? I think that's going to be everyone's opinion on that game forever. It was fun for a bit, got a bit trash. I had a lunchbox exploit that I managed to do, so I had access to just infinite lunchboxes, which might have killed it for me. But it also felt like a horrible, horrible crash grab. It's a C+. It's a mobile game, so we can't get any higher than that. What is this? Oh god, I recognize the cover. Wait, don't tell me. It's it's like, I was going to say Prey, but it's not Prey. It's, fuck. Well, I've never played it, so it doesn't matter either way, huh? Morrowind, A tier. Without a shadow of a doubt, A tier. It's almost borderline A+, but I've always been a much bigger fan of Oblivion than Morrowind, because Morrowind, I always hate the combat system in it. It never felt visceral. It never felt like a proper combat system. It was that traditional Dungeons & Dragons dice rolling, but Streamer Oblivion is too. Yeah, but Oblivion, there was impact behind things. That's the only bonus I would give it. Obviously, Morrowind, better world building, better setting, more interesting setting, better races, better story, better everything. Oblivion, mechanically, just so superior to it that it does pip out of the post there. Plus, Oblivion has some real characters in it, huh? I mean, Morrowind had some good characters, but Oblivion had some real memorable ones. Oblivion, it's borderline also meme status. There's a reason why there are so many memes about Oblivion still, because it was just... I mean, it was a lot of people's first Elder Scrolls game. Morrowind was my first. I actually played Blood Moon. Or I specifically have Morrowind and Blood Moon as my first Elder Scrolls game, diving into that before anything else. But I never really got into it. I only got into Morrowind after I finished Oblivion, so let's put it that way. That's why Oblivion for me will always be an A+, where Morrowind will be an A. Both incredible games. Pirates of the Caribbean, didn't even know they published it. Prey, never played it. I've never played Prey, it never had any interest to me. Quake 3 Arena, almost tempted to put it in A+. That was one of my first ever shooting games I played. This game came out in what I can only assume was the roughly 14th century. Quake 3 Arena is incredible. If you've never played a fast-paced, proper Twitch-based shooting game, not Twitch as in twitch.tv/Roll1D2Games, I'm talking about, like, Twitch-based reactions, like quick, super fast-paced. You die, you click a button, you immediately respawn, you're back into the action. It doesn't put you in a safe zone or your little base. It drops you right in the middle of the fucking arena. You're expected to get straight back up on your feet. That you also get some really cool voice lines if you kill people with, like, melee and stuff. It's a humiliation. That was a big thing of why Quake 3 was so cool. It was, like, real gritty and edgy and intentionally so, but it really worked for it. That's why that's an A for me. And that's probably just a personal thing, so I just have such fond memories of that. Playing over dial-up as well, and then all the characters stuttering around the stage, that was pretty fun. Don't know what this is. I think it's Quake 4. It must be Quake 4. I actually don't know. Never played it. Okay, so I will also point out, one was Quake Online, one was Quake 3 Arena Online. That actually might be Quake 3 Arena Online, which was originally called Quake Online, and then they made actual Quake Online, or Quake Champions, that was it. I think that's Quake Champions, that's Quake Online. I'm going to swap those around, because I never played Quake Online. Oh, I did play Quake Online, but briefly. So briefly, I'm not even going to count it. I mean, that was just Quake 3 Arena, but modernized, and a little more garbage. It was a lot more limited from what I remember. Oh god, the hiccups help me. Alright. Rage 2. Do I even remember? Wait, Rage 2's not even out, is it? I don't know. I've never played it. I actually didn't even realize it was out. Rage. I played it for 10 minutes, didn't like it, so that's going in the never played this game section. Elder Scrolls Redguard. That was kind of cool. That had a lot more lore in it than Battlespire. I give it a C. It's better than Battlespire. So Redguard was kind of cool because it was all about like a Dwemer airship, and it had a lot more ties to the actual core series and a lot of the sort of weirder, more underground lore. I think you played this guy called Sirius, something like that. I don't really remember. You played as a Redguard, obviously, but it was quite a cool game. I vaguely remember that one. Rogue Warrior. Never heard of it. Star Trek Conquest. So this was a Wii. Oh my god, okay, this is where I really put on the fucking nerd hat, huh? This was a Nintendo Wii game whereby it was essentially you took 3 ships into combat against 3 of the ships, and it was kind of like a if you've ever played Dawn of War, if you've ever played Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth, basically like a like a strategy game, like a real-time strategy, controlling points on a map. It was that, but you had 3 ships that fought 3 other ships. It was very simplistic combat, but it was quite fun. So, I mean, I had a good few hours with this game. I thought it was pretty good. It's a C+ at best. It's better than Fallout Shelter, let's put it that way. Star Trek Legacy. I'm going to say something extremely brave here. Star Trek Legacy was only good for the SOD files you could get for Star Trek Armada 2 from it. It's garbage. Meme status. No, and nobody understood. What have we got there? Star Trek Tactical Assault. Never played it. I'm sure I have at some stage. Encounters was also pretty garbage. There's been a lot of garbage Star Trek games, although I do remember Encounters. Encounters was Legacy, but better from what I recall. I don't entirely remember. Wait. Am I getting them confused? Encounters wasn't that horrible top-down one where you flew a ship around and... No. I don't remember. I'm actually going to put that and never played it. Because I played one or the other. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I played Legacy, though. I don't even know what that is. That's Elder Scrolls. Some fucking... Oh, look, it's in the shape of an app. Oh, hang on. That's Elder Scrolls Blades, isn't it? Garbage tier. Oh, that's meme status, because it's just shit. Skyrim. Ooh, this is hard. I'm going to put it where it belongs. It's A. It's an A tier. Only with the caveat, modern day Skyrim Special Edition. With all the changes, all the... No, let's not say bug fixes, that's going too far, but the graphical changes, the DLC included, the other whatever they were, packs included, everything. The whole experience modded. That's my only caveat. And not modded so they go, oh, anime, waifu, transformer, Sharon Gun 3000 mod. No, none of that shit. I'm talking about like proper like graphic mods, a little bit of combat overhaul here and there. Not too far away from the base game experience, but just improved on it. That makes Skyrim an A. Any other situation, I'd drop it down in a B, because it was that disappointing to me. Coming from Oblivion to Skyrim, you thought Oblivion was a shallow world compared to Morrowind. Skyrim was a far cry, and that's when it went too far that I would drop it down again. But Skyrim was... I really didn't like Skyrim when it first came out. I thought it was so disappointing compared to Oblivion. I actually just played Oblivion again when I first got Skyrim, because it just, you know, kind of scratched that itch a little bit, huh? I don't know. Skyrim suffers with that, you know, depth of a... What was it? Width of an ocean, depth of a puddle. That's premium Skyrim right there. I think Total Biscuit said that. So, yeah, trash. I mean, good trash, but still trash. And modded, heavily modded to fix a lot of the issues. Then it's much, much better. Evil Within 2, never played it. Evil Within 1, never played it. Wet? What is that? Wet? I don't know what wet is. I mean, I recognize it. No, it's not wet. I don't remember. I'm going to say never played it. I do recognize it, though. Real Spin, never heard of it. Is that the Call of Cthulhu? I vaguely have heard of that. That's a much older game, but I didn't know they published it, but I know it, I've heard of the game. That's Renamed S2. I didn't know this game has existed. Wolfenstein 2, never played it. Oh, wait, no, I think I did. That's the one where he wakes up in the asylum, isn't it? And then the nurse brings back to life, and you have to escape through with her, and you go in her parents' car. I vaguely remember that. I didn't play much of it, though. It's definitely... Again, I think mechanically it's great, it's fine, but I never played much of it, so I'm going to put it alongside Doom. These are tied. Wolfenstein New Order, that also might have been the one I played, but I don't remember. I don't think I played one or the other. Wolfenstein Old Blood, never played it. That is my tier. If anybody argues with Fallout New Vegas being the only S tier game on there, you need to check your privilege a little bit. This is exactly the way Bethesda games have been trending for the past few years. Look at this, right? Turn that on the side, you've got a mathematical graph of what's going on with Bethesda here, right? 1S, 2A+, 3A, 2B, 4B, 2C, rest garbage. Rest is garbage. And that's what's going on. If this was a graph, this is your x-axis. How shit is a Bethesda game? Or how good is a Bethesda game? Or how many good Bethesda games have they purchased? Hang on, I'll think about this. I'll plot it against a graph at some point. I'll get back to you on that one, Chief. But, you know, you can sort of see here. Oh, man, we can actually get the title in now. Look at that. There we go. It is kind of a scary thought, though, that Bethesda games are trending this way. And obviously with Fallout, I mean, Fallout 76 just being, I can't even see it on here. Did I even rate it? I put it in never played. Let's put it in meme status because I feel like it deserves that. It's not trending well, is it? I have, because of this is very much informing me, oh my god, Skyrim 6, Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be shit. And I also fear for the future of the Fallout. Hopefully they'll wake up and give it to bloody Black Isle or Obsidian or someone better, because they cannot. I just don't think they can do it anymore. I think they've lost it. Anyway, this was the Enlightenment era. Everything between like what, 2002 to 2000. Let's be generous here. 2010, 2011 will include Skyrim, was the Enlightenment era. It's all been downhill from there, Chief. Good night, Bethesda. You sweet prince.